Welcome back to another reaction. My name is Chris, and today we're going to hop back into the View, so let's get into it.
John Duffy is defending the firing of 400 FAA workers. But former Secretary Pete Buttigieg slammed the firings of employees who control communications, radio, computer systems, all given all the confusion. So is this really the time to be laying off folks? And who is exactly getting laid off?
Well, they're seeming to be laying off probationary workers. When you work for the Department of Justice or work for the government, sometimes you have a 2-year probationary period. Sometimes you have a 1-year or 3-year. So these are people that are in their probationary periods and they're not protected yet. And so they're just kind of getting rid of them willy-nilly. The other thing that they're doing is the union spokesperson said that the people that have been affected are maintenance mechanics, aeronautical information specialists, environmental protection specialists, aviation safety assistants, and management and program assistants. And I just want to call back to what Pete.
I feel like anything that Trump does, they have an issue with. It doesn't matter what type of shoes he's wearing or anything. Like, they're going to have a problem with it. So I don't even know.
The judge tweeted, he said, "We put safety first, drove down close calls, grew traffic control, and had 0 commercial airline crash fatalities out of millions of flights on our watch." President Trump now oversees the military and the FAA. One of his first acts was to fire and suspend some of the key personnel who helped keep our skies safe.
So I do think it's a valid point, but I want to be very clear. There is no evidence that the D.C. tragic plane crash had anything to do with these firings. And then this most recent one in Toronto, it was because of landing on a Canadian airway, and it was related to the landing. It was not, there is yet at this time no evidence it's related to the layoffs. That said, it's a perfectly valid.
Sorry to cut her off, but thank you. Let's just get that clear. I already knew where this was going when she was saying that. Trump's fault or whatever the case may be. No. Trump is trying to make things make sense. Like he's in office. Like he's gonna, like before he was in office, he said what he was gonna do, and he's changing stuff. And now everybody's just surprised. And now they're blaming Trump on what's going on with the planes. I guess so.
Point to say that you need to know who you're getting rid of in government.
Hopefully there'll be an investigation.
And there is by the NTSB right now. I strongly believe in streamlining government. I think most people think it doesn't necessarily work, it isn't as responsive to people as it should be. But my criticism remains, tell us why you're cutting it. Tell us. And Sarah's highlighted this.
Isn't it money?
Finally, the Doge website does have some information about what they have cut. They've said they've saved $50 billion. But tell us why we don't need that program, how it's not going to impact our goods and services, and we don't have that
Sean
yet.
Duffy quoted numbers. He said there were 45,000 employees at the FAA. Okay, sounds like a big number. With no context, who are these people? And how, what are their jobs?
Some of them are
400
aviation safety
Wait one second. 400 people were laid off, and you're like, okay, 400. But what were their jobs? They're saying they're in these temporary status jobs, but it doesn't say who they were replacing or why they started wasn't critical. My biggest problem is the transportation and the not transportation, the transparency and the methodology in this, because right now we all wanted the fat cut. Great, everyone's on board with that. Not in 2 weeks, because when you're going to cut the fat in an organization, you go in, you learn everything, and then you see where the inadequacies are. And that's the issue. Probationary status.
I feel like we're living in some kind of chaos right now. I mean, they also fired, how many of them? 300 employees who are guarding the nuclear arsenal. That was a mistake. And then they tried to hire them back, and they still haven't gotten 25 people back yet.
Because they can't find them because they don't have their emails
because
anymore.
There's incompetence and chaos going on, and we should not put up with it.
Well,
and by the way, egg prices are supposed to come down, not airplanes.
Well, let me say someplace that could really use a lot of cutting. Elon has.
Whoopi always ends it, and she always makes it worse than what it was. But my opinion, I feel like Trump is just trying to protect all of us, his family, make everything make sense. and they still have a problem with it because they don't just think about what's actually going on. And anytime something happens just like this, they're ready to blame Trump for literally any inconvenience that's going on or anything, let's say, at all. Because literally this is my third video on The View, and that's all that I'm getting right now. So moral of the story is Trump is trying to make everything better. Like I said, somebody said he's only been in office for how long? A month? Not even a month, 3 weeks, something like that. I don't know, I may be wrong. I'm just new to this, but I'm just saying, I mean, hey, he's making everything make sense again, finally. So yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what other videos I can check out because this is getting crazy. But yeah, just stay tuned.